That.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait for a minute to get started.
I believe Ed Clark is connecting now.
In fact,
Yeah. Can you hear me, Javier?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Ed.
Okay.
yeah, I still see people connecting, so we're going to wait just a minute.
Good morning, everyone. Are you guys still there, or did I lose you?
Okay, I know we'll have a couple more people on the city side here in just a minute, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And good morning. My name is Mark Prestwich. I'm the Hemet City Manager. We're recording this video so that we can share it with our business community, and we want to take an opportunity to provide updates on a number of things affecting business and impacting business and issues that we want the business community to be aware of. But before we get started, I want us to introduce ourselves, all of our city staff. So Javier, why don't we go to you, and then we'll go to Ben. And we'll close with Cindy.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name is Javier Nolasco. I am the acting building official for the city of Hemet, and it's a pleasure to be here with each one of you.
Good morning, everyone. Ben Sandoval, the Economic Development Manager. Very excited to be here and share some great stuff we have happening here in the last month. Thank you.
And Cindy, I want to provide an opportunity for you to say hello.
Good morning, everybody. Cindy Lemke here from the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce.
So we have a number of items to provide updates on today, and this was marketed as an opportunity to hear from Fire Chief Sell. Fire Chief Sell unfortunately cannot make today's meeting, but we do have and Ed Clark. I didn't offer you an opportunity to say hello. Ed, you can introduce yourself briefly, but we have others from the fire department.
Yeah, my name is Ed Clark, and I'm one of the fire prevention officers that works under the umbrella of the Department of Life Safety.
So we have an opportunity to, and we will talk a little bit about fire inspections later in the call, but just some general city updates. And then we're going to ask a couple of different members of our staff to talk a little bit more specifically about different programs that we have. But we've launched a trash enclosure pilot program. Today we have 14 applications. That means there's room for additional applications, and this is first come, first serve. And trash enclosures are going to be, they're already mandated to be completed in our commercial areas by January of 2026. So now is the time to work with the city to get these completed. And we're looking forward to starting a couple of these probably within a couple of weeks. So we've been doing inspections over the last 2 weeks. And we anticipate processing the applications for the first round of these trash enclosures. So that program is going to get started right away. As a reminder, we also have a vandalism relief program. If your business experiences any type of damage to doors, windows, etc., this program provides an opportunity for potential reimbursement up to $7,500. So we're happy to talk to you about that program. I also want to let you know that the city is working on a facade improvement program. This is going to be a program that has $450,000 programmed in it in the current year budget. We are going to be visiting with the Planning Commission and sharing the draft program with them at the end of the month. After that meeting, we will be taking this to the council in June. And we anticipate launching immediately after that meeting. What that translates to for the business community is probably one large shopping center opportunity for reskinning, a refresh for the exterior of the asset, but also approximately 8 grants up to about $15,000. The match on both of these grants will be a fairly competitive grant match. When we look at other cities, the match is a little higher, but the draft recommendation is a 20% match. And if you'd like to follow that program as it moves through the review process, our planning commission will be first, followed by our city council. Also want to acknowledge some things that recently took place. So the community came together in the form of Hemet Beautiful over a couple weeks ago, and we put about 400 people to work throughout the community. I know we have we have our mayor pro tem, Jackie Peterson on this call, and she talked to us about all the statistics, but we cleaned up the town in a lot of different ways. We painted, we added new landscaping around town and really polished it up. So we're looking to continue that effort again in the fall in partnership with Just Serve and other volunteers that have already begun doing a recurring cleaning up program. And we'll be back next spring as well, citywide with Hemet Beautiful in 2025. But that was a nice program. Also, I don't think we've talked too much about this with the business community, but the city council has authorized a license agreement with the Riverside County Transportation Commission. And what that does is it allows us to program 21 feet of the edge of the railroad right away between Menlo and Acacia. And why that's significant is the city, in partnership with an affordable housing developer who's looking at a project at Menlo and State, we have a $38 million grant into the state of California, and about $5 to $6 million of that grant would come back to the city for infrastructure improvements. So we have a plan to put pedestrian paths and a bicycle path on both sides of the railroad right away in that corridor, along with pedestal lighting and some desert landscaping that you can see on the east and west sides of Florida in town. But that's the type of look and feel in the downtown that is going to get dressed up should that grant move forward. Let me transition to Ben Sandoval, and Ben Sandoval is our Economic Development Manager. Ben, we're going to ask you to talk first about the Business Roundtable, and then the Summer Valley Kickoff and the business survey that you're up to.
Well, thank you, City Manager, for allowing me to say a few words here. Great to be here. What a beautiful Thursday morning. I already feel ready. I feel like running a marathon this morning. And I say that because that's the kind of thing we've been doing the past month here for the city. We've really been tackling things in a great way. We've been trying to think of innovative ways so we can hear our businesses. Businesses have challenges, successes, collaboration. They want to be heard. So the city of Hemet has heard this, and we're going to be hosting our very first in a very long time Hemet Business Roundtable, drumroll, taking place July 11th in partnership with the Hemet Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Cindy. The Riverside County Workforce Development Board. We're also going to have the SBA come on in to provide services at no cost, and Chase as well. We're collaborating because not only do we want it to be a roundtable where we hear your successes, challenges, and we collaborate together, private and public sector partnerships as one, but we also hear you in a sense that we're going to provide services. There are at no cost services that you may or may not know about. We want to make sure that you know of them. So prior to the roundtable, you're able to log into the economic development webpage that has just been created the last week. So if you go to our city webpage, the economic development webpage has just been created. It's fresh. It's about, again, a week old. So it's going to be refreshed in a month. When you go there from now, it's going to look much different, but it's a good starting point so you can see what's happening, what's coming up, what business solutions are available, again, at no cost to your business, because that's imperative. We understand that a small business, they're struggling in a sense, and we're doing a citywide survey as well. So if you have not taken our citywide survey as a business, please do so. I'm going to add it here on the chat box when I'm done. So any business here that wants to be heard, maybe you have some things you want to share with the city prior to the roundtable, this is the time to do so. We've opened up all the channels for businesses so we can start hearing your voice. And me being out there with, as the city manager stated, doing the the trash enclosures, I've been able to connect with many businesses. As a matter of fact, I think I'm up to 200 plus my 3 months that I've been here, and I've heard your voices, and we're doing programs potentially with council's blessing and the city manager that can benefit all of our local constituents. And in addition, I'm going to finish up here so I could pass it off to the next person here. We have the Summer Valley kickoff that was approved by the city council this past Tuesday. Excuse me. So there's any business that would like to participate, it's a great city event coming up in partnership with your Neighborhood Link and the Hemet Chamber of Commerce. We'll be having that next month. It's going to be, I believe, on a weekend, on a Sunday, and a great place to bring out, showcase your business. And if anything, just come on out and have a great time. And last but not least here, as I kind of finish up here, and just so you know, the Summer Valley kickoff, we'll have about 80 vendors. That's going to have a car show. We expect a lot of constituents to come out and enjoy themselves that particular Sunday. And last but not least, there is a great conference coming up here this next weekend, the ICSC International Hospitality Conference, that the city of Hemet is very proud to be going and representing the city. And our angle is going to be to attract new business. That's where we're really going, economic stimulus, and seeing different ways that we can attract businesses so local constituents can stay here in Hemet and utilize those funds in our city here and create a nice little ecosystem. So that's just in a nutshell. I can go on forever, and we'll be here till tomorrow, 6 p.m., but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to pass it over to the next person if there are no questions. Thank you, City Manager, for allowing me to say a few words this morning.
Thank you, Ben. We do have a question in the chat about sponsorship levels. Do we have any sponsorship levels?
For the roundtable?
Right.
Absolutely. We can discuss what that looks like, and we will be more than glad to partner up and sponsor for this particular event. Will be a big one, so I will connect with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we're going to transition to talk a little bit about something we're calling the Hemet Beautification Contest. And Alan Reyes, our event and communications coordinator with the city, is going to provide an overview, a brief overview of a contest that we've just launched that's going to be open for a little while.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Good morning, everyone, and everyone who's viewing at a later time when we upload this. Yeah, so we recently announced the Hemet Beautification Contest, I believe last week. And right after we announced it, we got a few applications to participate. So I think people are pretty excited in our community here. So the beautification contest essentially is a contest around beautifying your residential property, even your business property. So if you are a business owner here and you also live here in the city of Hemet, you can participate both ways. So that would be pretty cool. There's about 7 winners. We're giving out a grand total of $7,000, so $1,000 each winner. There'll be 2 citywide winners. One will be residential and one will be citywide. And there are also 5 council district winners that will also be receiving $1,000 each. The reason we did this was to really give everyone an opportunity, regardless of the district, an opportunity at winning and having a fair shot or an equitable shot at winning the contest. Some of the things we're looking for are curb appeal. If you don't know what curb appeal is, it's essentially the first impression that people get when they walk up to your property, right? So in terms of residential, if they're walking by your house and they're seeing your front porch, that's curb appeal. Same thing with your business, right? So if they see your business sign on top of your building, that'd be something curb appeal related. Signage outside your building, curb appeal related, or maybe let's say you had some sort of broken glass in your front commercial property and you got that fixed. We also have a grant for that as well. But if you got that fixed, then that'd be something that's curb appeal related as well. Creative landscaping, anything that could bring more life to your property, whether that's whether you have a green thumb and you're trying to bring more plants in, or something that's more environmentally sustainable, that's something we're looking for as well. Architectural enhancements. So if you're actually making architectural improvements to your building or commercial or residential property, that's something we take into account as well. There's a ton of stuff we're looking for. There's obviously some contest rules that you need to adhere. One of the more important ones are really adhering to all, the city's municipal code. I'll let you guys do your due diligence on that. But if you want to read more about the contest and really dive a little bit more deeper into the contest rules, you can go to hemetca.gov/BC24, stands for Beautification Contest 2024. And we have all the rules, what we're looking for, and how the voting will be distributed as well. So yeah, any questions on that?
Ellen, why don't we go ahead and put the link in the chat so
Yeah.
that people can find that and they can follow up with us that way. Now, just one more city update before we talk fire safety inspections. The city council at the meeting last Tuesday considered the first reading of an ordinance that would allow for an expansion of sites related to cannabis retail. So that ordinance will come back in a couple of weeks for its second reading. And there are going to be proximity distance requirements around certain sensitive locations, just as we would with alcohol type of businesses, just as we have in the existing cannabis ordinance. This would be an amendment to the city's existing cannabis ordinance. And so that would allow for up to 5, as drafted, it would allow for up to 5 locations in the city of Hemet. And you can follow that conversation through the council meeting and or contact city staff if you have any questions about that. Let's transition to fire inspections. Fire inspections, the formal program, really hasn't been part of the city for about 10 years. So we're going to talk to you a little bit today about where have we been for the last 10 years? Why now? Why is this program and why are these inspections occurring? We want to share with you what the business community should expect when contacted by the fire department for inspections. For example, how long will that inspection take? What do the fire personnel do during the inspection? What are they looking for? And is there anything provided to the business after the inspection? So why don't we begin with that? And Ed Clark from our fire department is going to talk to us more about that today. Hopefully safely and hopefully in a safe location, Ed.
Well, I'm in downtown LA, so you can decide what's safe. But like Mark said, the Hemet Fire Department hasn't had a fire prevention bureau for probably over 10 years. Once Chief Sell came on board, he realized that there was a need. So he went ahead and he hired 2 fire prevention officers, which included myself and Justine Solid. So part 1 or stage 1 of getting the Fire Prevention Bureau up and running had to do with SB 1205, which is a Senate bill that mandates the city and or county or the jurisdiction having authority to inspect all apartment units with 3 or more units. Because that is mandatory and there aren't any state or local funds to support that, we charge for that. And then that dovetails right into doing the annual business inspection under a health and safety code, which I can provide to everybody later. It gives us the right to go in and inspect any business where the public will come in and populate that building, if you will. And because again, we don't get reimbursed by any state or local agencies, this health and safety code allows us to bill for that inspection. So basically the fire protection or the Fire Prevention Bureau is self-sufficient and we pay for ourselves. As far as business inspections go, we are simply looking for basic things. One is do you have a city business license to even be conducting business within the city of Hemet? And secondary to that is is, do you have a certificate of occupancy? That means that when you initially applied for your business license, somebody came out from either the fire department or the building department, and or both, to confirm and inspect that you are actually operating the type of occupancy that you say you are. And just a little thing on that is, oftentimes a business will say that they're, XYZ, and then we find out later that there's actually a grow shop in there. And then that becomes a hazard to both our citizens and the fire department. So that's one of the reasons we do the inspections. Now, getting to the inspections, we are looking for some basic things. We want to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher that works and has been serviced within the last 12 months. We want to make sure that all of your exits are posted and all your exit signs work, as well as emergency lighting. We also assure that you're not using multiple amounts of extension cords. Extension cords are not allowed in a business. Now, it's okay to use a surge protector for small things, lights, fans, cell phones. But we are finding that some restaurants even are plugging in their commercial refrigerators to these surge protectors, or worse, an extension cord, which subsequently causes a high fire risk. That's pretty much the basics for a basic annual fire inspection. Now, if you also have in your building a fire sprinkler system and a fire alarm system, we inspect those. Those are supposed to be serviced and tested every year and every 5 years. Now, the importance of this is not only for safety, but if you have a building that is insured and you have a fire in there and your insurance company sends out a fire investigator to investigate it, to find out the cause, and finds out that your fire sprinkler system was not in compliance, and could have contributed to the extent or the extension of the fire, there's a very good chance that policy you have will be void and they will deny your claim. So those are just some off the top of the surface things that we are looking
Ed, I'm gonna interrupt you a little bit. We're having a little trouble hearing you, and it's interrupting. I think you're in a cell phone area that's maybe not working as well. I know we have about 5 minutes left. Let me ask you to answer a couple of questions. Number one is, and I know you were starting to talk about frequency. How often would a business expect to receive an inspection? And then in the inspections that we're conducting, what are the personnel finding? And what, if we, out of every 10 inspections, how many are finding something that needs addressing right now in the inspections that we're conducting?
Okay, well, certain businesses should be inspected once a year. Once we get the program up and running, most of the small B occupancies, which are like a business like a hair salon or lawyer's office.
I think you're still breaking up. So let me see if Javier can substitute. Javier, are you able to answer some of that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you for the invite. It's a privilege to be here. So part of the answer is that we normally do these inspections to ensure the life and safety for the structures and the people who are occupying those structures. One of the reasons why we want to do this is because we do have different buildings with different types of occupancies, and we want to make sure that those buildings are utilized according to standards and approved code. So along those lines, the inspections normally take place. We have a yearly inspection program, a 5-year inspection program. The yearly inspection program, it's intended. It's the main focus point is to be able to identify any potential fire hazards in those buildings and be able to identify those situations and make the business owners aware of those situations and take the corrective actions to be able to resolve the situation. Our 5-year program, it's a program that typically it's a 5-year program that we want to implement under our DLS structure, and that is to continuously monitor hazardous situations that may exist at these buildings in our community. And the ultimate goal is to be able to provide safe structures and preserve people's life in our communities. How long those inspections take? It could be from 15 minutes to half an hour. It depends on the type of inspections and accessibility to some components. For example, let's talk about the global shutdown inspection. That is a very critical inspection for the fire department, for our Fire Prevention Bureau. And the reason why is because if the global shutdown does not communicate with the alarm system for the building, that means that there is going to be a problem. The fire will continue to transfer from one place to another place without alerting any of the occupants to be able to exit the building safely. So that inspection is very vital for our fire department bureau to run it, and it could be a 15-minute inspection to a half an hour inspection, and we're looking for many different components. It's the global shutdown working effectively when it's triggered by smoke, because that's part of the inspection. Someone needs to be on site. In this case, the contractor would have to be on site and trigger the alarm system by using a smoke device to be able to alert the entire alarm system and be able to notify residents that there is some sort of a fire going on in the building. So there are many different components, and that's the reason that it takes about the average of 15 to half an hour.
Thank you, Javier. Cindy, I know you sometimes receive questions from the business community related to fire inspections. Are there questions that you would like us to, any questions beyond the information you received today that you think would be helpful to also talk about briefly?
No, actually, they did answer a lot of the questions because the frequency or, preparation. So I think that was great information. It was the extension cords I didn't know though. So I think that's, we should probably find a way to share some of the simple information that they could probably fix in preparation for just handling the power correctly in their building, as opposed to preparing for a visit, so that we can empower them to be safe all the time.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, are you able to hear me now?
Briefly, we can a little. It's still a little hard to hear.
Okay, well, just real quick, we would be happy to come to a Chamber of Commerce meeting and put on a PowerPoint if that's helpful to you guys.
Absolutely. I will definitely get with you on that. Fantastic.
Okay, great.
All right. So we've shared a lot of information today. We have, if let's put a fire, I think, Javier, if we could put a point of contact in for questions related to fire inspections in the chat, that would be helpful. What we're going to do, we're recording this, and what we're going to do is put this on the city's YouTube channel. The Chamber of Commerce will have an opportunity to share it with their membership, and any business inquiries that we receive, we'll direct them to that. But thank you, everyone, for participating today. Cindy, any closing comments or thoughts?
No, I just want to encourage everyone to attend these or send us your questions, because it's really great information, and keeping the relationship between the businesses and the cities is important. Staying top of mind, this is something that keeps that relationship open. You learn more information, you can ask questions. So consider adding this to your calendar, and we'll keep promoting it to make sure that we stay connected with the businesses. Thank you, Mark.
Cindy. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.